Hey guys, it's Phyrra, and today I'm going to talk to you about rosacea and my IPL experience. I want to disclose first and foremost, I was not paid to make this video. I am not going to even name the place that I went to have my treatment done, even though I would recommend them because I had a positive experience. I just want to share my experience with you with my rosacea and IPL because so many of you have asked for this video. Just background on me, I don't have a medical degree. My degree is in anthropology. I have a bachelor's in anthropology and I have a minor in English. So really this, I am not a medical expert, so everything I'm telling you is my own personal experience. In 2012, I was diagnosed with rosacea and I started seeing a dermatologist, and the dermatologist put me on Metrogel and Aczone to treat my rosacea, and really both of those products dried my skin out and made me miserable. Before I made this video, I was back looking at some of my old journal entries from 2012, and after I start my rosacea medication, I am so miserable because yes, it's helping to control the breakouts, but it's drying my skin out and I just feel like crap. And so before I jump right in, I'm going to tell you I have absolutely no makeup on my face except for my lips. I'm wearing OCC, color pencil, and anime. My skin is completely bare, so you can see all of the flaws in my skin. I only have one light on because I wanted to make sure that there's no way at all that this light is possibly, oversaturating my skin so you can really see what I look like. And not that I normally have on lots of extra lights, but I do often turn on a second light for photography so that I can make sure I don't have any shadow. Anyway, what forced me to go and seek IPL as a treatment option is that I felt like my skin was really dry and that it had aged, I don't know, like 10 years and 2 years from the rosacea medication. And even worse than that, after I worked out, every time, I would have a flare-up. And for me, a flare-up is where my skin would get all red, and it didn't just look horrible, it was very uncomfortable, it was a burning sensation, and it was like this for hours. So it was miserable. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep working out and experiencing this horrible flare-up. I've got to do something. So I researched different places in Tampa, and I ended up, you're going to probably think this is crazy, but after researching them, finding a couple that had good reviews, I went and looked on Groupon to see if there were any that had any Groupons, and I found a couple that had Groupons. I went back through the reviews on Yelp and tried to determine which place I should go, and then I finally just, I think I actually ended up on Living Social too to look around. But I looked at reviews in all different kinds of places before I decided on a place, and I went there. And I wasn't sure, if the treatment was working. And the reason I waited so long to make this video is because I've now had 5 treatments and I'm not going to go for another treatment for 6 months. But I was just at my dermatologist's office because my dermatology office does not offer this treatment at all, and they don't recommend places for IPL, even though they recommend the treatment. So, like I said, I had to do a lot of my own research to find a place to go. But I had them look at my skin, and they said that my skin does look better than when I first started seeing them 2 years ago. It has better, elasticity, and it's obviously less angry. It's less sensitive. I'm not having the flare-ups that I was having after I worked out, and which is really good because I've been going to the gym 4 times a week this month. So if I was having those back to back to back, I would be completely miserable. I haven't really had a flare-up for the past 6, maybe 7 weeks. The worst I've had is I do have a couple little zits, but I'm taking Oracea, which is an oral antibiotic that is used to treat rosacea, and it's basically a very, very low dose. So I take it every other day unless I'm having a breakout like I am right now, where I take it every day. Rosacea, as you may or may not know, is caused by a lot of different potential triggers. My triggers were working out, too much time in the hot tub from too much hot. Basically extreme temperatures really bother my skin, extreme hot, extreme cold. Stress is a trigger. Alcohol can be a trigger for some people. I haven't really noticed it doing more than making my cheeks a little flush, but I think that might be sort of normal, that everyone's cheeks kind of flush a little bit. I'm kind of babbling. I guess let me move close so you can see my face, and I'm going to just look around. So you can see my face is actually slightly darker than my neck, which is why I like to match my foundation to my neck and my chest so that I'm a uniform color as opposed to really dark and pale. So I'm going to get up here so you can see. I bet that's probably, closer than you ever wanted to look at my face. I do still have some, even after 5 IPL treatments, I do still have some discoloration along the sides of my nose that are red that really need to be hit again with the laser. I have a spot here on my cheek, and this used to have like a sort of weird raised texture to it, but after having 5 treatments, it's more smoothed out, and a lot of like the, I guess you would call them sun damage spots that are like around my eyes over here, they've sort of gotten lighter in color from not only doing the 5 IPL treatments, but also using vitamin C products religiously. You have to keep using vitamin C products like for months and months and months and months and months religiously if you ever expect to get any results from them. So even without makeup right now, I don't feel like I'm so hideous that if I walked out in the street, people would be like, what's wrong with you? And what used to happen to me with my rosacea, if I didn't wear makeup, is people would say, is something wrong? You know, your face is all red and blotchy. And then if I was having like a full-on flare-up, people would be like, did you get sunburnt? When were you out in the sun? I mean, why is the rest of you not burnt? And just, you know, uncomfortable questions that I really don't want to answer. For me personally, I wish that as soon as I was diagnosed with rosacea, my doctor had told me that IPL existed and I could get it to treat my rosacea, because honestly, I hate the medications, all of them. I am not a fan, because at least personally for me, like the Metrogel dried me out. The Aczone, which is supposed to be for treating acne, dried me out really horribly too. So the only medication that I'm a fan of, which isn't really a medication so much as it is a band-aid, is Mirvaso. And Mirvaso does not treat rosacea, it does not prevent the breakouts or flare-ups or anything like that, but what it does is hide it. So instead of having like the redness across your face, if you put it on and you put on a very thin layer of it, it will like make all of the redness go away. And so that's really great. But the problem is it's sporadic. If you don't put on a thick enough coat, it may not last more than 4 hours. And if you put on too thick of a coat, you know, it still may not last the right amount of time. And if you miss a spot, it's very, very obvious. But it's one of those medications that sometimes would work for me for 6 hours, sometimes it would work for 8 hours, sometimes it would work only for 4 hours. And it was very, you know, And ultimately it didn't treat like the breakouts that I have or the flare-ups. For me, I 100% feel like getting the IPL treatments was the best way for me to treat my rosacea. From my understanding, basically the IPL laser, which they put on your face, actually, let me go through, since I wanted to be able to film one of my treatments, but the doctor's office would not allow me to do it. So let me explain to you what happens when you go in for a rosacea treatment. They cleanse your face, they put this conductive gel on your face, they put little like either goggles, like little metal goggles, or like protective stickers that are the same thing over your eyes. And then they go over every inch of your face systematically, like they do a pulse. So it's like pulse, 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 like all over your face. For me, it would take 20 to 30 minutes. People describe this as being snapped with a rubber band. Let me tell you, it is not fun to get snapped with a rubber band in the face repeatedly over and over again for 20 to 30 minutes. However, I actually feel like it's almost like being electrocuted. It's not really a fun feeling. It's still something I could sit through for the results, because the results, at least for me, have been absolutely 100% worth it. Basically, the IPL, what it does is, I guess it kills off the blood vessels under the skin that are like right at the surface that cause all the flushing and like the pain. And that's awesome. Obviously, results are going to vary. Some people only need 3 sessions. I had 5 sessions, and like I said, I'm going back in 6 months for a touch-up, because it's one of those things that you still have to keep up with like every 6 months to a year to touch up. My friend Corey, she had it done, and she had it done like 2 or 3 years ago, and she hasn't had to have a touch-up since. But it's all in how your skin reacts. So really, from my perspective, if you're considering it, talk to your dermatologist first to see if they think that you're a good candidate for it, and go from there. For me, like I said, I wish my doctor had told me about it sooner. I would not have even fucked with all the medications. I just would have gotten the treatment and been done with it. I know cost can be an issue. Like I said, check Living Social, check Groupon, and then check reviews on whatever doctors fall under those two to see if maybe you can find a deal for yourself. Or also, you can always call a doctor's office and offer to pay in cash rather than through your insurance, because if you pay in cash, they're likely to give you a discount. So anyway, yeah, my feelings on rosacea. Rosacea sucks. For me, the best way to treat rosacea is to do IPL, the intense pulse light, that basically kills off all of the horrible blood vessels that cause all the pain and the flare-ups, whatever, so that I can't have those flare-ups. I still get zits, which is another side effect of rosacea, and I'm controlling the zits with Oracea. I'm really happy that I'm basically down to taking one medication for my skin, one medication for my anxiety, in my allergy medication. And this is what I have to tell you about IPL and rosacea in my skin. Let me know what else you want to know about rosacea and IPL. Please let me know if you have any questions, and if I can answer them, I absolutely will. Make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I make new videos on Tuesdays and Fridays and sometimes in between. Thanks so much for watching.